let you know, we're the legendary Who's from Philadelphia, PA. Check. 100% raw core. Oh! You said. Y'all ready to come alive? Yeah? You said. I don't think y'all ready for it, man. Yeah, come on. Yeah. Look, you say one for the trouble, two for the time. Come on, y'all, let's rock that. Get on to the beat, y'all. To the beat now. Young ladies, each and every lady in the area. Let me say ow, ow. Say ow, ow. Homeboys, make some noise. Let me hear say oh, yes. You feel it just as we go it on. Yeah, you feel it just get your favorite song. On the hands on. How they going on. How they going on. Throw your hands up. Yeah, freak that. Looking at me. You wanna see black? Then jump on it. And then jump you think you might want it. I'm on a spot to ride and jump on it. I'm in a couple of balls at that corner of yours and roll out. Somebody's front door. They put a swerve off like in a curve. In a black tree, do the wind storming. We like DEA, surfing warming. Trail preaching all the stop pouring. You wanna grab the mic, get them off the wall. Everybody in here to stop storming. You in the state money, unlock it. Pull it out your pocket. Been ready to play. I'm a rocket. Black going on, capital like the thousand girls. Your eyes back up, back the socket. Focus, flawless. You go to your lips. The legs of my lady. Just like the story. The movement, so that's solution. So real hard. Got a world by using it. Track the black for satisfaction. The roll with captain. Play by saying you better back. Insanity is cold and moment. Whenever you're on, it's your soul is talking. Real war, round and war, war, with full. A third rail and fortune. Three with a three stack. Nigga, turn the spot. They see stacks and what? Y'all own it. Aquaman, the crown holder. All night, equal, chopper, don't flow. Yeah, we introduce to the master champion. All telling in front of MCing. Fuck, get the money for real. Get freedom. Back on the glass, from a year to the field. Flash up your X-Box field. Motivated, train, make the city my wheel. We got to be not dim. To the T3, to the block 10. When they're ill, get caught, we gon' win. First in the fall is catch the no chin. And the mic black cobra, they smoking. Ladies up in the places wide open. Oh, talking about, pull it out your pocket. Pull it out your pocket when we in the bucket. Y'all feeling it. It's your favorite song. Come on, baby. I'm playing hard. You are going on. Show that shit over, y'all. Throw your hands up. Come on, rap all the gear. Being on the bass. Super South Philly with a hand of the class. Violating you, an answer the back. You was thug, not really. The answer to that, Leo. Boxing me with your hands, yelling jack hands for your chest. Rip a this man to your trap. These cats can't handle this strap. You was so tight, buck the man in the back. Meanwhile, I'm standing, little smoking. While I set who's out without stroking. I'm a diamond shot from going down. All the days since I'm going out. Talking in the shot is fantastic. That's fantastic, get the romance. And to the ladies in the house that's already in something. We get the ball to get dancing. Look, you pronounce the name Tyreek. Any questions for? Hip hop up and forth the F control. Pulling up by heat. But dimes inside of my G. I know you really get it. VIP, not stuck with play. Need a tip, follow walk for the fuck of it. You're the full black, post another shit. Any job like you work for the government. But work like Barnes and Noble. I'ma spit flames out of harm and focus. This for name of them. On your local neighborhood. With a 20 mile radius and every double craving this new anthem. Brain unstable and I'm just two hands from my blood. With the best around. Oh, test the ground. I'm finesse the sound. Check it out now. You feel it, shit. Keep going on. Germany, North Carolina areas is your favorite song. I'm saying hard. You got y'all. Oh. It's going on. Y'all better throw your hands up. You feel it, shit. Keep going on. Ladies and gentlemen, it's your favorite shit. You I'm saying hard. Make your hand to a fist, everybody. Pump it up with him. Come on, go. watch it, watch it. On the floor, gotcha, watch it now. You know what? I'm on the front, y'all. Oh, hey, you know what? I can't stop, I can't stop, I can't stop, I can't stop. With a free set, jump on it, jump on it, jump on it. You know what, man? From the south side, jump on it, jump on it, jump on it. Hey, y'all, keep on climbing, jump on it, jump on it, jump on it. You know what? Up that cheese, jump on it, jump on it.
Talk about phrenology. It took you quite a long time to get that record ready. Do you like working like that?
I don't like the long delays in between, but pretty much the roots have been such a well-hidden secret, you know, known to the industry but not known to the outside people, that pretty much every album that we do gives us other opportunities to work on other projects. And for us not to take advantage of that would be kind of foolish. So we didn't necessarily take 3 years to record Phrenology, but it's just that the 3 years that since our last record, Things Fall Apart, came out, a lot of production opportunities, some movie opportunities, acting opportunities, film scoring opportunities, other business ventures just sort of got in the way. And on top of that, we still do 200 dates a year, and on top of that, it takes us a good year to record an album. So we're going to be much quicker about it this time around, being as though all the outside opportunities that come, you know, we're really not going to take advantage of. Like there's a very big American drama that Black thought it would be an actor's dream, but he had to turn it down just so that we could come here to do these festivals and then work on the next record immediately. So in the States, we're on another label. So pretty much we want to have a new album out by March.
Okay.
So, you know, like we're going to be more focused this time and just focus on the music.
Okay. Can you sort of tell a difference between the roots in the studio or the roots on stage?
Yeah, I mean, 9 times out of 10, people prefer the roots on stage. That's pretty much because I kind of insist on each show being a unique experience for that particular night. We have you know, some diehard fans or whatever that go from show to show to show to show, and the thing that makes it special for them is the fact that each show is unique in its own experience. So pretty much, you know, it's like seeing the roots all over again for the first time because you don't know what you're going to get. Whereas the album, or at least the albums before Phrenology, really didn't convey, nor did I want it to convey the energy and excitement of a show. Like, people always ask, man, well, your albums aren't like your live shows, but nobody's live show and their album have ever been the same. Like, if that case, James Brown's albums would have had a different impact. Prince's albums, same thing. You know, even Led Zeppelin, especially in light of seeing their new DVD that just came out, like, their live shows kick their albums' asses. You know what I'm saying? So
I hope I got this right. You take the human brain as a metaphor for human diversity, but I think sort of, especially nowadays, you have to protect your brain very much, you know, from media infiltration and stuff like that. How do you keep your brain clean?
How do I keep my brain clean? Just toss it to me. Like, we're going to act like they're not going to give it to me.
No, you can.
Don't mind this person, y'all.
People like seeing people on television getting coats on.
I'm freezing. You know, I'm the wrong cat to ask about keeping my brain clean. I have a very filthy brain myself.
Don't.
My brain is filthy. No, you know, for me, you know, I'm the square of the group. You know, I don't.
That means square of the group.
I'm the square of the group. You know, I don't partake in the the inebriated pleasures of life. You know, I don't get drunk out of my head. You know,
Yeah.
I don't do massive drugs. You know, I do stupid things. I do nerdy things. I go on the internet. You know, I read books.
I think reading books keeps your brain clean, like sort of having discussions with people and stuff like that.
For us, yeah. You know, I read. That's how I feed and pollute my brain at the same time.
Okay.
Because some of the things I read aren't true.
It's difficult to tell sometimes.
Yeah, you know, that's the thing. You have to sort of decipher between what's good and what's bad.
Yeah.
The sunlight, I swung at my mic, draw like a gunfight. Then I use no coldest off, then a portrait, sipping for a sip from air, sipping for the floor like a portrait. Now, leave the off and ain't no way to cut this check. You gotta get wet, now it's throbbing, I ain't said shit yet. Yes, to the next movement, come on, come on. Yes, sir. See, get yourself prepared. If you feel it, you take it. If you think it's a living, then check it out now. The legendary foundation. Say what? You don't stop, keep on. Hey, get up. How you feeling? How you feeling? Damn. Set it on for me. Here come my hot, yeah, your music hot. Whoa, see that hot music? This is who's you shit. The hot music hot. You're feeling the formation of words of fear. What I usually discuss you with. A lot of rappers never heard of this, or don't have the time of this. You got the good crew, what you accomplish. Nobody's got crying your name, but you anonymous. You speechless, sing a sign, listen. You pull your minuses, do your monitors. Put my crown, to blow out the crowd of kids. No one got the kiss, I'm rock rockers. Who the finalists, they shine like a bug and amethyst. The answer to the conference, I in the panel. Listen close to my poetry. Jamming it like an analyst. See if you can hear the show. You got to groove. MC.
There's a song called Pussy Galore on the record,
Right.
about people selling music with sex. What do you think is the consequence of that?
Not even music. People selling any type of products through sex. I saw this report in the States that at least up into the 80s, companies would actually hire media experts on how to enter the subconscious realm of the American buying public into sort of being interested in things that seem normal but really had some hidden message in it. You know, I don't know if you ever seen that movie, Josie and the Pussycats, but all right, did I just admit that I saw Josie and the Pussycats?
You did, yes.
Anyway, in that film, they sort of, a corporation built that group together just so that they could sell products.
Yes.
You know, like you would hear a song and then all of a sudden you want like a soda, and don't know why because they have like subliminal messages inside the song. So with us, you know, like, you know, corporations use sex in any form to sell you product. There's a very famous commercial. It's for shampoo. And what happens is a girl's in the shower, and her husband wakes up, and he thinks his wife is having sex with another man. You hear in the shower, yes, yes, oh, more, more, more. So then he wakes up in the morning, and he opens the shower, and she's just doing her hair like, oh, this is great, more, more. You know, it's stupid things like that, you know.
I know that they, in Germany, they have an advert selling margarine with sex, and they actually asked thousands of people, and all people associate sex with margarine. Did you know that?
Really?
Also, how do you call it? Was heißt Gleitmittel? Smear stuff, you know, like sex.
They use butter? Margarine?
Germans use margarine.
Nah, man, jelly is the jump off. Honey and jelly.
There's another...
But we'll talk about that later, all right?
Yeah. There's another track called Water, and I'd like to hear about what was the evolution of that track.
You ever see the movie Train Spotting?
Yes.
To me, Water was like our Train Spotting. It was like, you remember that scene where his two acid pills jump in the toilet and he jumps in after it and he has like a trip? That to me, that was like our version of that. We have a member of the group that got caught up in narcotics and drugs, and he sort of can't get out of it, you know, and he's wasting his talent. He's a dear friend of ours, and we tried every which way to get him to go straight. Try to put him in rehab, didn't work. Try to, you know, just keep an eye on him. He'd evade us. You know, we'd hide his stuff. He'd go crazy. We cut his money off. You know, we try to threaten the people that he hangs around. Nothing seems to work. So pretty much like our last warning about you could die is this song. And pretty much the first half of the song is the first half of the song is sort of like the warning, and the second half is sort of like the consequences of not listening. The song's sort of like going in one ear and out the other, you know.
Traveling through the brain.
Or yeah, the results of your brain or narcotics, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had a brownie or two in my lifetime when I went to Amsterdam, and I felt very much like the last half of that song. So imagine, and that's just, you know, little weed brownies. Like imagine what real drugs will do to you, you know.
Yeah.
So without being preachy, we figured, you know, we would have to make a song very ugly, very disgusting, very unsettling. And pretty much anyone that hears that song feels very uneasy about it. There's no way to feel clean after you hear that song.
Yeah. Do you feel any pressure when you hear people saying the roots are the future of hip hop? Or did you already know?
I don't feel it anymore because hip hop is like a relic to me. You know, the hip hop that I knew and I loved and I grew on, it's not that anymore. You know, like, so pretty much the reason why we made Phrenology is sort of to break free of those chains of what hip hop was supposed to be. You know, for a long time, to us, being inside of a crowded hip hop atmosphere was sort of like being an American Express card carrying member. You know, all the time we'd have to show our identification. You know, oh, you guys are a band, you aren't hip hop. See, we are hip hop, we are hip hop. And they look, oh, okay, you're hip hop.
Prove it all the time.
Yeah, basically, like for 10 years, we've been flashing the hip hop license, hip hop license, hip hop license. Meanwhile, so-called hip hoppers aren't even being hip hop anymore. You know, you take away half the rhymes away from these songs and they sound like they came from Teletubbies. Sound like Barney, or you know what I mean, like Sesame Street music. So at the rate where they aren't fighting to keep hip hop alive, then I feel as though I don't have to hold my badge every 3 seconds saying, I'm hip hop, I'm hip hop. Meanwhile, everyone else is doing what they want. So pretty much phrenology was our answer. You know, do anything but hip hop.
Yeah.
But keep it in a hip hop context.
Of course.
Okay, we represent the next movement. To be body, we be the mind movement. Living my life nice, I'm not too bad. You be school as a Broadway play. This ain't work or 100% shit. From the basement, push it to court the plan and open that shit. How many people in the house love music? What the fuck up, react to it? Get involved with it. Come on, come alive. Everybody, fuck it.
And we'd like to talk about Cody Chestnut.
Sure.
How did you meet up with him?
His parents dropped him off in a basket at a church door.
You found him.
We raised him fed him well.
Breastfed, I hope.
Blanket and milk, you know.
Yes.
No, a friend of mine had his demo in her car. She drove me home from a gig one night in Detroit, and there's a lot of mosquitoes out here, so I'm just scratching
I
my
bet
neck.
it's a nice sound, you and your beard going.
No, not the sound of mosquitoes sucking me in. But I heard his demo in Detroit one night after a show. We did a show with Moby up in Detroit, and as I was driving home, she had his demo, and that's all she was listening to. And she wouldn't tell me who it was, because she knew that if I got my hands on it, I would just take it over, you know, and just get her out the way. And basically,
Yes.
that's pretty much what happened. While we stopped for gas, I took the CD out, saw the information. Cody Chestnut, headphone masterpiece, put it back in. Went on the internet, couldn't find him. Finally, someone from my label, an A&R, had rejected him and had him in the trash pile. So I was like, yo, man, he's incredible. They thought he was a joke. Oh, this guy or whatever. I was like, Cody Chestnut, man. He was like, yeah, you like this guy? I'm like, yeah, I want to work with this guy. He said, no, you like this guy? I was like, yeah, I want to work with this guy. No, this guy? I was like, yes, this guy. No, I mean, this guy. So we went back and forth. I finally found him. Told him very much I like the seed and I want to redo it. And now we have our first bona fide hit, which I'm amazed at.
Yes. I have to tell you that when I go into techno discos in Cologne, for example, they play the seed in between of techno music. It's unbelievable.
This, all right, you know how decades are defined by certain actions and whatnot? Like, the 50s were sort of the post-nuclear family decade, and 60s were sort of like a revolutionary change, and the 70s was sort of like the free and decadent decade, and the 80s were the me decade, and the 90s were sort of nouveau retro. 2000 to 2010, absolutely nothing but the age of irony. Strictly the age of irony. Pretty much anything that you would never think would happen in life is happening in life. You know, like, you know, you could never tell me that New York City would go up in flames at the hands of terrorists. It happened. You wouldn't tell me that Michael Jackson would be 1 second away from being bankrupt. It happened. You could never tell me that Prince and Michael Jackson, two of the 80s biggest figures of sort of ambiguous, apolitical, androgyny symbolism for black music, would be two of the most blackest, militant, staunch, hardcore people that they are today. I mean, just on a personal level. You couldn't tell me that the world's top golfer would be a black man and the world's top rapper would be a white boy. You know what I'm saying? The tallest basketball player is Chinese. You know, like, it's just the age of irony. And for the Roots, hip-hop card-carrying members for 11 years, you know, we got over on a rock song, which was really supposed to have been a joke, you know what I mean? But, you know, it's the age of irony, so.
Do you also think, when talking about a song like The Seed, for example, something, you know, everything you do, very heartfelt and stuff like that, today also music always has to be ironic. What you looking for?
Oh, I thought my camera fell in the swamp. I forgot.
Why are you carrying a camera around all the time?
Because I'm in the midst of getting a book deal, and I want to be, well, first I said I wanted to be, you know, the hip-hop Annie Leibovitz or Herb Ritts, but then someone told me that I need to be the hip-hop, not Charles Mingus, but Milt Hinton, Milt Hinton was a great jazz musician, but he was also very much like one of the lone historians for the whole jazz culture and photos. You know, he's even more famous for his photos that he took in the 40s and 50s as he was for his jazz playing. So pretty much